guys, how's it going, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got some epic news for Marvel's Avengers, because it seems like this past weekend's free-to-play experiment seems to have been a massive success. We'll get to that in just one moment, but first and foremost, guys, we got 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 brand new Black Panther skins revealed. And I gotta tell you guys, they are listening. They are absolutely listening, because these skins are definitely what I wanted to see for some of the other characters. So it looks like we're starting to get that improvement in the customization side of things. So we're going to dive into all of that and much more in just one moment. But first and foremost, I want to go on ahead and ask you guys for a little bit of support. Don't forget, if you do enjoy the video, smash the thumbs up button, subscribe. Thank you guys so very much for your support, like always. And without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so let's kick things off with this chart right here. Calm down, calm down. It's not going to be any math lesson or anything like that. Chill out. This is actually something that I think is really cool and really awesome to talk about in regards to Marvel's Avengers. Now, if you don't know, Marvel Avengers was actually free to play this past weekend on the Google Stadia, Steam, aka PC, and of course on the PlayStation Network. So if you didn't know, by the way, I let you guys know this way ahead of time, so make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications for future news. But regardless, this right here is a really cool piece of information that was actually put together by Tassi from Forbes. And the reason why I think this is really cool is because it really gives us a lot of information about, was this particular free weekend successful? Was it unsuccessful? And what we could possibly extrapolate from this. So first and foremost, I would go on ahead and mention that it looks like it was a ginormous success. This is something that Tassi wrote an article for that was actually titled Marvel's Avengers sees a 10x player count increase. It's free to play the way. And I will have a link for that down in the description. And I think he makes a very strong case for that. I really thought that this past weekend might have been somewhat of a beta test for the idea of making this game go free to play. Because to me, if you're going to go on ahead and make your game 40% off with a new price cut, I think we're getting to that point where you could start justifying a free-to-play model that will then rely on just you having to purchase the challenge card, skins, so on and so forth. We're going to talk about whether or not that's a good or bad idea in a moment, but it looks like the idea of making this game free-to-play might be a pretty good plan, because you can see that typically the game had an average of roughly around 700 active players. Again, this only points out the data for Steam, so obviously we don't know how much of an increase we saw on PlayStation, but I feel like this is kind of a nice sampling to go on ahead and assume that we probably saw a similar-ish increase on the Stadia. Well, I don't know about the Stadia, because I don't know how many people actually own a Stadia, but on the Stadia and on the PlayStation. But you can see that over the course of the last couple of days, it was basically hovering in the ballpark of like 500 to 700 players at its peak. And that was normal standard fare. Well, this past weekend, when the game went free to play, you can see a pretty substantial jump on the 30th of July, then an even greater increase into the 31st of July. And then you can see an additional little tail dip, and I guess dip, and then another rise. I feel like I'm like orchestrating orchestra here. Orchestrating an orchestra? That seems kind of redundant. Oh boy. We do see an increase in active players of 7,829 active players. That is a huge increase. To go from 700 to 7,000 active players, that is a substantial jump, 10x. And I think that that is something that they could maybe build on with more momentum if the game would to go free to play. Now, in addition to that, you can also see that obviously the all-time peak for this game was actually 28,000, which to me kind of gives you an idea of just how many people were possibly interested in playing this actively. But to go from 28,000 down to an average of 500 to 700 players, that is not great. However, a big jump to 7,000, and maybe this could have been sustained should we see this game actually go free to play. I think that's an interesting proposition. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Would you play Marvel Avengers if it was free to play? And here's the most important question: would you support it financially through its existing microtransactions? So that would be the skins, the challenge cards, Let me know down in the comment section below, what do you guys think? I think that at this point, considering I've seen this game on sale, brand new, for 20 bucks, so I don't think that the barrier of entry is that high anyhow. And so if this results, if the idea of the game going free to play results in a 10x increase in active players, I really do think that this is something that Square Enix should consider doing, particularly if they continue down the path of this next piece of news. Okay, and the piece of news that I'm talking about is the fact that we got previews of the upcoming customization items for Black Panther, or some of the skins that you could go on ahead and purchase, some of the premium items for the characters. So here, right here, you can see the first one of the bunch. This is King T'Challa outfit. I really like this idea. This obviously makes sense with only some characters if they're not wearing mask or a mask, or if they don't worry about their secret identity. I think this is a really, really cool look for King T'Challa himself. I think he's got a really cool outfit. I like the claws still being present. That looks really, really, really sick. And the little blurb that they went ahead and released along with this reveal is, this is another Crystal Dynamic original, where we wanted to design a regal look that was still functional. We thought about what T'Challa would wear when he wasn't donning the Black Panther suit. If you look closely, you'll see that he has the finger rings on, which act as claws in battle, in order to make sure that obviously his powers still make sense, because obviously if some of his attacks require claws and then he's not actually wearing any claws, it would look kind of awkward, and you know somebody would complain about it. So I think that it's really cool that they went ahead and addressed it, and I like that it actually looks almost like a decorative item, but at the same time it obviously has some function. Now the next one is the Most Dangerous Man outfit, which is the one based on Casper Cole that a lot of us in the community have been titling the Blade costume, because it really does make him look somewhat like Blade. It's a very sleek looking, very, very cool design with this kind of really elongated trench coat. And the blurb that we got with this particular release is that this is inspired by the comics. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! I cannot tell you how long I have waited to hear those words. Inspired by the comics, but not just inspired, it actually looks like the comic book costume. I think this is the direction. If we're going free to play with this game, this is the sort of skins that we want to see. This noir style outfit was front and center when Casper Cole briefly took on the mantle of Black Panther in New York City, which is really cool, because this means that we could get other iterations of Black Panthers. This means that the idea of Killmonger Black Panther being a skin down the line is a possibility, which I think is really cool. Okay, the next one that we got was the one titled Damisa, or maybe Damisa-Sarki Outfit. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but another comic book inspired look, which looks very, very sick. I love the texturing on this particular outfit. I really like how it looks distinct and different to the other ones that we've seen so far, which is one of the complaints that I have always had with the skins in this game. It just feels like 90% of the skins are the exact same thing with one thing changed, and then they do 17 different recolors of that same skin. So this hopefully means a new wave of customization for this game, where we don't get 17. You know what? Give me recolors of the skin, but that should all be included under one skin. Do not take this skin now and then do one that's going to be purple, one that's going to be white, one that's going to be black, one that's going to be green, one that's going to be red, and then be like, oh yeah, look at that, we released 4 new skins. You didn't. You went ahead and changed the color on the hue. So this is a really, really good step, and I hope that they stick with this kind of customizing going forward. Regardless, rant over, back to the information. This outfit is a reinterpretation of Jack Kirby's drawing of Black Panther and how he first appeared in the comics back in 1966. The Damisa-Sarki outfit shows Black Panther in a short cape, which we saw in a much requested outfit on social channels. Awesome. Again, showing us that they're not just taking feedback, they're actually applying the feedback and listening to us, which I am so, so happy to see. Because again, what we have to remember as a community is that as much as we criticize, we need to then also praise the things that we do like. The changes that we see that seem to be cool, we need to say, hey, Thank you guys for listening. This is awesome. This is what we want to see. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the Strategist Outfit, which I really like as well, because it has this kind of tactical feel. It's almost like if Black Panther was a super soldier, this is sort of what you would get. And the blurb that we get with this one is, this outfit is inspired by T'Challa's look in Black Panther, Man Without Fear, issue number 513. Again, listen, guys, check this out. Look how many costumes we're getting with specific attribution. Not, oh, hey, this is inspired by that, or this is inspired. This literally tells you this is from this particular issue in the comics. Here's the issue. Here's what we're referred to. I think that's awesome. But regardless, back to the details, where he temporarily replaces Daredevil as the defender of Hell's Kitchen. Since he had no superhuman abilities, by the way, I think this is the first time that we got reference to Daredevil within the Marvel's Avengers. Maybe, just maybe. And last but certainly not least, we got this paragraph, which is very cool as well, because that means we're getting more news before the War for Wakanda DLC launches, because they said the following. We're going to close the wardrobe door for now, but we'll be revealing more of Black Panther's outfits before the War for Wakanda expansion releases in August. Keep an eye out on our social channels and let us know what you think of the ones we talked about today. So that means that most likely, if I was a betting man, I would probably guess that at that War Table event that we're going to be getting the day before the War for Wakanda DLC launches, we're going to get some more announcements, including this rumor that we will actually be getting the Black Panther MCU costume within 1 week of the War of Wakanda DLC launching, which would be insane. Now, it's all just a rumor for now. Do not get overly excited, because in my opinion, I think it would be probably smarter for them to stagger that release a little bit later. I understand the logic of building on the momentum. If War for Wakanda comes out and it's as good as we're all hoping for it to be, and then they could also just blow us all away with the fact that they're like, check it out, you have all these cool skins, and then a week from now, we're also going to give you the MCU costume, or maybe even 2 variations of it. Like maybe they could go on ahead and give us the Killmonger Black Panther and, of course, the T'Challa Black Panther. That would be cool. Or maybe even T'Chaka as well. That would be cool. So regardless, let's not get overly excited about that. I think it's safe to assume that we will get an MCU Black Panther, just because that's what they've done with every single one of the other characters that has been released so far that has an MCU counterpart. So I think it's safe to assume that we will get something for Black Panther as well. But I wouldn't get my hopes up believing that it was going to happen so quickly after the release of War for Wakanda. And so there you have it, guys. That is all that we had to discuss today. 4 brand new skins, a possible massive shift for this game if we do see more of these kind of free-to-play weekends, and if they do see a huge rise in player base. And most importantly, I think for Square Enix, let's just be honest here, the most important detail is them seeing if they see a spike in sales of costumes and things like that. If we see that happen, I think there's actually a good chance that this game does end up going free to play, and then enticing players to spend and support the game by purchasing skins, purchasing the challenge card for the new heroes that are coming out, and so on and so forth. Let me know what you think of that. Let me know what you think of the 4 revealed skins for Black Panther. And of course, like always, guys, do not forget to smash the thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe to make sure that you do not miss out on future uploads. And in addition to all that, if you guys would like to support the channel beyond that, you can grab some merch. Thank you so very much for those of you that have been picking up some merch. And of course, in addition to that, you can become a member. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'll hopefully catch you guys here next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.